Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we have another daily dose of, I don't know if it's dismal Disney, but this is really interesting stuff.
It's funny. It's very funny. So I thought I'd share it on a Sunday. So a writer of Pirates and Princesses, Mr. Milo, had put this up. I saw it a couple days ago. Honestly, it's not surprising at all if you saw what the animatronic looked like originally. But there's a rumor out there that I think is true that says that the Donald Trump animatronic looked so bad when it first premiered at Hall of Presidents because it was actually a Hillary Clinton animatronic.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, the animatronic's trans.
There we go. Disney's
how progressive of Disney.
So progressive that they've got their first trans animatronic. Yeah, so let's talk about this because this actually makes a lot of sense when you consider the timeline for the Donald Trump animatronic. It was like a year or more after he was in office before they actually put it up.
No, they do take a long time normally, but this one took longer than most.
And the word was it was because of the controversy around Trump being elected. Now, I know when they
I thought it was good. That in the speech. He said, we have to get a speech, and he hasn't done it yet.
Yeah, and he said that wasn't the case.
Yes, he did say that was the case.
So they were basically transitioning Hillary Clinton to Donald Trump because it sounds to me, if this is true.
It looks true, I'm going to tell you.
If this is true, it sounds to me like they were so sure that Hillary Clinton was going to win that they already had the animatronic ready to go.
And that's what an Imagineer told them, apparently. So,
oh my God.
Before we get into it any further,
please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You'll get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
This is fascinating. I've never heard this before. I gotta be honest.
I heard about it a few days ago, and that because I knew the animatronic looked like garbage, and I remember thinking, did they do it because they're mad he won and they just made it look like shit? And then it was, I heard this and I'm like, oh, this makes total sense. And according to an Imagineer, that's what happened. So the rumor came originally from, here we find the person's name, Alex Goldman. Okay. It was the former co-host of Reply All Podcasts. And he had a theory he put on Twitter saying that he thought that the reason that Trump looked the way he did was because it was a Hillary Clinton animatronic.
It doesn't look like Trump.
No, but it looks like Hillary Clinton. Like you can see this
if
the
you
bone
stretched
structure.
if you stretched her face, look
at the bone structure and how the face is. The eyes, the way they're the very pretty eyes right there. And
a pretty mouth.
The mouth is not the pretty mouth. Yeah, it looks like it was her. It's bone structure, and it does. Well, apparently. So, back when Trump won, no one remembers, I'm sure you all do, everybody was surprised. Like, everybody was sure it was going to be Hillary Clinton.
I was shocked. I mean, they had her party ready to go, her celebration party. And then
when no one went to bed that night, it was looking like she was going to win. Yeah. And the next morning, like, Trump won. We're like, what?
I remember I literally got in fights with your dad over. I'm like, there's no way in hell people are going to elect Donald Trump. I'm like, it's not going to happen. It is what it is. I can't believe that they're running him. And he's like, no, you don't understand. I'm like, no.
Well, tell my dad you're sorry.
I'm sorry, Papa Sparkles. You were right. And I did, because I remember, he's like, look, he said, it doesn't matter what the news is telling you. Look at all the signs on all the lawns.
See, Papa Sparkles was calling real shit out before we did.
Yeah.
Where do you think I get it from?
I was shocked. I really, truly did not think he was going to win. And then
most people didn't think he was going to win.
And I think that's what broke so many people was they had it in their heads that he wasn't going to win. And like, what the hell? What the hell?
Yeah. So, everybody was surprised. That's apparently what happened here. So I guess a Disney Imagineer messaged him and he put up their comment. It could be he or she anonymously, which is what you do when you have a source like an Imagineer. You protect those people. Like we've done it before.
We've had a few.
No one's ever known who gave us the Kevin Smith stuff for He-Man.
Nope.
And no, we've had several people come to us with different things. And I know we've actually deliberately used they, them pronouns for a reason because we didn't want to, expose the gender of the person because it would narrow down. Yes, and that would let people figure out who it was. So we've gone out of our way to go that far to protect identities of people. That's what you do, and that's what this, Goldman does too. So this is the first time Neon's hearing this. First time you're hearing this.
This is the first time I've heard this, yeah.
Here's what the Imagineer told him. Mr. Milo, who wrote the story, actually went out and found the original comments. So go Mr. Milo. Okay. Every time there's a new president that gets elected to office, The Hall of Presidents has to close for several months at a time in order to get the new president animatronic installed in the hall.
Correct.
Yes. The whole show has to change, and it ends up being a bit of a shit show.
Correct.
Okay, let's explain real quick what the Hall of Presidents is, so people
It's
know.
a very boring animatronic show.
My mom loves it.
Okay, well, Mama Sparkles loves it.
It's the Hall of Presidents is they have animatronics of all the presidents.
Yes.
And every time a president is in office, they have a spiel they give. They have lines they have to do. And then when they're out of office, they get moved to the background with the other presidents, and they just sit there. A few presidents have lines like founding father type presidents, but they mostly just stand there and they turn their heads or they'll blink their eyes or they look like they're alive. And they'll just sit there or stand there.
Blink twice if you're still alive, Joe.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. But that's what the Hall of Presidents is. It's a great place to get out of the sun, out of the heat, and chill out for a while.
Take a nap.
I mean, it's like the American Adventure. However, I adore the American Adventure.
It's like the American Adventure without any adventure.
It's like the American Adventure, but a lot less fun. Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'll go back to this. In 2016, the Disney executives were adamant that they were going to have as little downtime as possible before reopening the show. The problem is they backed the wrong horse. Everyone was positive that Hillary was going to win.
Yeah.
So much so that they created her animatronic. And then they got caught with their pants down when Trump won. It can take months, if not years, to design a new animatronic. True. I remember seeing the facial designs for Hillary Clinton animatronic at least 6 months before the election, and an intern asked the 3D artist what would happen if Trump won. And he laughed and then said, "Oh, then we're screwed."
Da, 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 da.
So wait, if they were doing the rendering of Hillary Clinton, I mean, did they had, well, I guess there's a lot of photographs of her. I would say, was she in there getting pictures taken and stuff? She would have had to agree to that, let them do it and stuff like that.
Oh, I could totally see them being like, yeah, she's totally going to win. Come on in, Hillary. We're going to.
Probably. I mean, honestly, we all laugh. The thing is that Bob Iger was a real big Hillary supporter. No shit.
Yep.
Bob Iger has his head so far up the Democratic Party's ass. It's a XXX movie at this point.
Well, he wanted to run for president. That was a rumor for the longest time. He wanted to run for president.
Yeah, that, and then, he was going to run for president, and then he was going to be the ambassador to China or the UK. I mean, he's like permanently embedded up there. So I think there was just a real urge on the part of the executives overseeing the Hall of Presidents project to please him. And I think it all ended up just blowing up in everyone's faces.
Like a XXX movie.
Yes. And remember, as you've mentioned before, and this would have been the time that this was going on, there were a lot of Republicans working at Walt Disney World.
Yes.
You were there, and you were like the only Democrat in the group.
I've told the story several times before, but every video we do is somebody's first video. Yeah, I've done media events at Disney before, and I was the only non-Republican at the table because everybody would sit around and talk about Tucker Carlson, Fox News. And this Trump. This was back in 2017, 2018. Yeah.
Right. So people there are probably like not happy about it. Anyway, whenever a president gets elected, they record a little spiel, and that gets used in the new Hall of Presidents show. True. Now, with Trump, he kept saying, I could swear that was true too, that they kept saying, it's taking so long because of Trump. And he was like, no, I already recorded that. But they did take longer than normal. They did take a long time. But I remember it being longer than normal. And people were like, are they just not going to reopen the Hall of Presidents when Trump's there because they're going to protest he won?
Okay, so that actually did happen though. But they also said that he wasn't happy with the animatronic. I guess they gave all kinds of excuses, but they always put it on him. They said he was the reason. I'm like, Trump is an attention whore. If he had a chance to get himself immortalized in a Walt Disney World attraction, he'd be on the freaking.
He'd be there yesterday.
Yesterday. Absolutely.
Heck, I'd be there yesterday. It can sometimes take months to get recording with everything that a new president has going on during their first year. I'd be willing to bet that Hillary had already recorded her spiel before the election.
Probably,
because they already knew how her face was.
Everybody thought she had it in the bag. That was the thing. Everybody, all the newscasters, everybody. And God, just watching everybody's face at her party where all the balloons are just kind of deflating in real time. And
then she was like a complete sore loser afterwards, too. I remember that. So, yeah, the animatronic was meant to be Hillary. I think the thing that made it obvious to everyone is that it had Hillary's facial structure. Yeah, no, come on. That's definitely her.
Yeah.
Okay. It had Hillary's facial structure, and That's the thing that can take the longest and the hardest to design the animatronics is the underskull. My guess is they probably originally tried to salvage the animatronic by keeping Hillary's skull and putting Trump's skin over it.
Oh, God.
He puts lotion on his skin.
Puts the lotion on its skin.
I'm just saying. So they think that because, but even then, it took 11 months after his inauguration till they opened it. And I know it was longer than most because people were commenting. Thing is, they knew he won in November. So it took more than a year to do this. And if they just had to fix the face, I don't know. I don't know. There's something that seemed weird. Like it shouldn't, if at that much time, they should have been able to rebuild his face. I think they just didn't give a shit. Well, and that was their way of keeping her there at the same time.
Yeah, I think they're like, oh, we'll give him a pretty mouth.
Right.
You know.
Now, after the backlash, they did update it. I did know that.
It actually looks like Trump.
Now it looks like Trump. So they probably just took they did the skull, redid the skull and put his bone structure on it and stuck it back on.
Yeah.
But yeah, they updated it at some point and put him back, the actual one looks like him in there. And now he just scowls everybody for the background. But this makes total sense because I remember when I saw it, I was like, that looks nothing like him. Like what look at that. Like I remember thinking to myself, they just did it to punish him because they're mad he won. And, at the time, I've never been I didn't like Hillary at all. I really do not like Hillary Clinton. I think I actually would say I would like Trump over Hillary Clinton, and that's saying something because I'm not a huge Trump fan either. But it's funny to me because I remember thinking, well, they really kind of did him dirty. Yeah. Remember, I wasn't a big fan. But just being fair.
You have to realize, when you're talking about Imagineering in Burbank, they're probably like, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what they did, and I believe it's true. If people ask me, do you think that rumor is true? Yes, I think the rumor is completely true, especially if you look side-by-side comparison.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think this is very valid. Knowing how long it takes to do this stuff. When the attraction finally opened up, there was all kinds of backlash. It had protesters come in. They had security guards there.
Yes.
To shut people up because they would have people come in and sit there and just boo and boo. Not my president, not my president.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, this is like the first time you've ever been to this attraction. I guarantee it.
I think I don't like the babyish behavior. And we've only been seeing it since, there's been baby behavior. Like when George W. won, the Democrats took all the W's off the keyboards. Yeah. There's been childish behavior going on since then. And when Obama won, I remember there were a lot of parents that were like, I don't want my kids to watch that president in school. And I remember thinking that's,
come on.
Yeah. But then when Trump won, it went really bad. It got really ridiculous the way that they were having these meltdowns.
See, this is what kind of got us into talking about this stuff on our channel was I have never seen anything like this in my entire life where people have just completely broken because of somebody getting elected.
They said Samuel L. Jackson said when the election happened, Brie Larson was completely broken that Trump won. I'm like, are you kidding me?
I've never seen anything like this. I've seen people disappointed that their candidates didn't win. I've seen people bitch and moan about presidents. My whole life, I've seen people bitch and moan about presidents, but I've never seen people just completely go mental because one guy got elected to office. It was just insane.
Go to the Hall of Presidents and start screaming, "Boo! Not my president!" in the attraction.
Yeah, I remember watching the inauguration. And I was like, well, here we go. I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen.
The flip side too was you had the one Trump guy that got permanently trespassed, I believe, because he kept going on rides with a Trump flag.
Yeah,
and holding and then he went over to the main entryway of the train station and then hung the flag over the railing and stuff like that. So we had a lot of outrageous behavior on both sides. And it was just like, what is going on? Oh, all over the Trump animatronic being at the Hall of Presidents.
Yeah. So, there have been rumors that they were going to get rid of the Hall of Presidents and turn it, or turn it, get the Lin-Manuel Miranda and Weird Al
Yankovic
to do something more fun, but only keep
maybe with Muppets. Because they had that Muppet show they used to do.
That was actually pretty fun.
It was actually pretty good.
That was pretty good.
So that was a rumor for a while. They were, because every time there's something that needs music, Lin-Manuel Miranda, even though some of his songs in the new Little Mermaid movie suck balls, we're going to put him in there and get Weird Al, and they're going to make a new funny show because we have to entertain people, and Hall of Presidents is boring.
Yeah, I could actually see them if by some miracle Trump wins in 2024 again, which could happen. Who the hell knows? I have given up on trying to guess at this point. If that happens, I could see Disney just being like, yeah, let's just get rid of the Hall present so we have to put them in again.
Yeah, they probably would because there's been rumors that they were going to do this. Now, that was all before Biden won.
Yeah.
Since Biden won, they aren't really talking about that now.
Yeah, but I could totally see them getting rid of it and then just having, George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, JFK, and then, just a musical number and a bunch of Muppets. Sam Eagle. He's got the Trump's facial expressions down. Sam Eagle, yeah.
All right, we got to wrap this up.
I think we need to wrap this up. So there we go, guys. The
funny story for Sunday. I completely think it's true. What do you think?
I'm looking at the two side by side, and I totally see it. I totally see it, especially since they had to revise, and people made it out like Trump was being difficult. Like he wants, a redo.
Well,
He looks like Hillary.
He looked like a man. I mean, I'm sorry. He looked like a woman.
Hey, they've always been progressive.
That's right.
There we go. All right, you gonna wrap it up?
Yeah.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, and we'll talk later.
Trump has resting bitch face. Bye.
Help support the channel. Go to thereef.support and get early access to podcasts, videos, and other content. That's thereef.support.